So now we're wrapping up Unit 4, physically active, injury-free, and quack-proof. Daily physical activity is important to your health, yet participating in a physical activity takes preparation. One goal of preparation is to reduce the risk of injury. So how does one prepare? Before we get into that, let's look at some of these signs. Do you know what any of these signs mean? How about the exclamation point? What about the skull and crossbones? The arrow? The funny sign that looks like horns? The sign that looks like something spilled? What about the one with the three little triangles? Number 1 is a warning sign. Number 2, poison. 3, high voltage. 4, nuclear. 5, explosives. 6, radiation. By paying attention to signs, we can avoid certain risks. Our goal for this unit lists preparations that can help reduce the risk of injuries while participating in physical activity. By paying attention to the clothing, equipment, and footwear you use, protecting yourself from the sun, having the right protective equipment, as well as remembering to fuel up. Another way to reduce your chance of injuries is to have your body prepared for physical activity by warming up and cooling down. You also learn about quackery. It sounds pretty funny. We'll get into it. First, clothing. This is one way to prepare for physical activity. The 3 C's. You're probably thinking, duh, how much did I know about clothing? I wear clothes. Well, you want to be safe and ready for anything you encounter and enjoy your time being physically active. So 3 C's. They need to be comfortable, climate ready, and clean. Loose fitting to allow movement. Lightweight clothing in the summer and the spring, some layers in the winter and the fall. They need to be clean to reduce your risk of fungal growth and infections. Yuck. Socks and shoes. Socks. Socks, we need to wear socks. They provide us some extra cushion for our feet, help prevent blisters, and they absorb perspiration or sweat so you won't have a funny stinky odor in your shoes. Shoes. Buy leather or cloth shoes because they're breathable. They can determine how much you enjoy your physical activity and help prevent injuries. So if you have the right shoes, you will enjoy your physical activity better. Soccer, you need soccer cleats. Futsal, you need futsal tennis shoes. They're not the same as regular soccer cleats. Okay? Another tip, never ever buy shoes before you try them on. And then try them on with the socks that you plan on wearing and walk around in them a bit. Sole searching. A sole that is at least 1/2 inch higher at the heel than the toe is best. A good arch support in your shoes. A firm heel cup to hold your foot securely in place. And a smooth cushion inside. A sole at least as wide as the upper part of the shoe is desirable when you're looking for shoes and soles. Protecting yourself from the sun is important at all times. If you do not protect yourself, you may get a sunburn. Mild sunburn can make your skin red and sore, but bad sunburn can cause blistering, swelling, and a lot of pain. If you repeatedly get sunburns, you will also increase your skin's aging process and increase your risk for developing skin cancer. You need to cover up with as much clothing as possible, long sleeve shirts and long pants. Wear a hat with at least a 2 to 3 inch brim all the way around so you can protect your face, your scalp, your ears, and your neck. Apply sunscreen with an SPF or sun protection factor of 15 or higher, and you might need to reapply the sunscreen. Wear sunglasses that block 99% of 100% UV rays. Make sure you're wearing the correct protective equipment. So if you're biking, skating, or skateboarding, you should wear a blank. Helmet. You should also add knee and elbow pads, gloves, and wrist guards when skating and skateboarding. If you are biking, skating, or skateboarding at night, you should have What kind of tape? Reflective tape on your equipment, a rear reflector, and a headlight. Besides just making sure equipment is blank, visible, you should also be visible by wearing light colored clothing with reflective patches on the front and the back. Another piece of protective equipment that most male baseball, football, and hockey players wear is an athletic support, also known as a cup. This equipment protects the groin area. Now, fuel for physical activity. If you ever started out on a bike ride on an empty stomach, you didn't make it very far, did you? That's because your body needs its proper fuel or energy that it gets from food you eat to perform at its best. So if you haven't eaten a healthy meal within an hour before physical activity, you should have a healthy snack, something small, before you begin. Food shouldn't be your concern though. Equally important is being properly hydrated or having water or fluids so that your body can function properly. Listed above is a couple of healthy snacks: whole grain crackers, graham crackers, animal crackers, rice cakes, some fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, baked tortilla chips. You can read the rest. Water and electrolyte replacement. Again, you need to stay hydrated. It's important for our bodies to get several glasses of water a day. How many? Several? How many exactly? 8. Everyone should drink at least 8 cups of water each day, and even more when physically active. Water is the most important factor in nutrition and physical activity. Water makes up about 60% of body weight and is involved in almost every body process. Your body cannot make or store water, so you must replace what you eliminate. Lost water can lead to heat exhaustion, heat stroke, and in some cases, death. Ignite your electrolytes. Research shows that an adequate diet prior to and during training with salt allowed as desired provides adequate electrolytes. The intake of citrus juices, fruits, and vegetables for potassium is also encouraged. That's why you may see some football coaches giving their football players slices of oranges when they're done. Electrolytes conduct energy, regulate fluid balance, transport nutrients, support proper muscle function, support mental function, help convert calories into energy, regulate pH, and much, much more. When your body loses water, it also loses electrolytes. Electrolyte is a medical or scientific term that means salt. The major electrolyte lost in sweat are sodium, chloride, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. Electrolytes are important because they are what your cell use to make nerve impulses or electrical impulses and make your muscles contract. So they're extremely important. Water intake. The following guidelines ensure that you're getting adequate fluid replacement, leading to optimal performance. Drink small amounts of water frequently rather than large volumes infrequently. Drink cold beverages to reduce your core body temperature. Have fluids accessible or near. After a workout, replenish fluids at the rate of 1 pint for every pound lost. Water is the ideal fluid replacement. Remember that. Water is the ideal fluid replacement. Next up, another way to reduce your chances of injuries is to prepare your body for physical activity. How we do that? Warm up before physical activity and cool down afterwards. Finally, we'll examine quackery, the promotion of health products, services, or practices of questionable safety, effectiveness, or validity. You'll learn skills to evaluate whether products like miracle weight loss pills or workout equipment really work. So, must do. We must warm up and cool down. The number one reason is that they can help reduce your risk of suffering injuries like muscle cramps, strains, sprains during physical activity. The warm up is a period of non strenuous activity that slowly prepares the body, especially the muscles, for physical activity by increasing the amount of blood going to the muscles and by raising your body temperature. You should warm up for about 5 to 10 minutes before being physically active. The lady here is doing some high knees for her warm up. You could also do things like jumping jacks, power walking, and many other activities. A cool down is a period of non-strenuous activity after physical activity that helps the body adjust to the decrease in physical activity. Cooling down helps reduce your pulse rate and returns blood to your heart, which gets rid of the lactic acid in your muscles, which can cause soreness and muscle cramps. If you don't cool down properly after physical activity, blood may not return to your heart, which may leave you feeling a little dizzy, sick to your stomach, or worn out. You should cool down for about 5 to 10 minutes after being physically active. Some common cool down activities include slow walking or stretching. What's quackery? Quackery is the promotion of health products, services, or practices of questionable safety, effectiveness, or validity for an intended purpose. You don't want to be ripped off and spend your hard-earned money on products that don't do what they say they will. It's best to become an informed consumer. The origin of the word quackery? Well, it's a Dutch word from quack salver, meaning boaster or prattler, who applies a salve that is anything that remedies or heals. Sounds good. You've probably seen or heard thousands of advertisements for health products and services. Advertisements that boast how you can lose weight quickly or build muscles with ease. Do the products really do what the advertisements say they will? Some do, but many do not. You must become an informed consumer. An informed consumer takes the time to learn about products and services before buying them. They read the advertisements carefully and with a critical eye in order to spot fallacies or untruths. The informed consumer is careful not to buy every fad that appears on the market and is aware of quacks. An informed consumer also knows how to identify reliable, trustworthy sources of information. By using the assessing information skill, you can evaluate a product, service, or practice that is being promoted by questioning its trustworthiness and what it promises to do. Products make a lot of promises, but how can consumers know if they really work, don't work, or even are safe? Again, using health skills to detect quackery is a skill that you've already learned, but may take some practice to apply it to assessing the information that you're presenting with. Some good steps or questions to ask when you're looking at an ad are: what is the purpose of the information? Is it to educate me, entertain me, or persuade me to buy something? If it's to persuade you to buy something, you really have to look at it with a critical eye. Who or what is the source, author, or creator of this information? Is it coming from a qualified individual in the medical profession? What are that person's qualifications? Are that group's qualifications? Are they experts on the topic? Is there contact information or a place I can go to for more information listed? And is the information up to date? These are all questions to ask when assessing information and evaluating advertisements. For even more protection against quackery, you can reference the Consumer Report. The Consumer Report is published by an independent nonprofit organization, which means they have nothing to gain by judging these products. They've made us aware of some common phrases and words that we should avoid. Instant or quick results, amazing results, secret formula breakthrough, scientifically based, new discovery, or European. Consumer Report's mission is to work for a fair, just, and safe marketplace for all consumers and to empower consumers to protect themselves. To achieve this mission, the organization tests products and services and makes report about them available to the public for review. You can find Consumer Reports in magazines, in magazine form, should I say, as well as on the internet. Please complete your calendar, which you can find in the Skills for Health course on the course home page. If you need to contact me, do so by K-mail or by Outlook mail at aturner@lavirtual.org or by phone 504-322-747543. If you're watching this recording, please visit this link to receive credit for today's lesson. http://tinyurl.com/HSCLASSRECORDINGS. Your password is safety. Thanks for joining me. See you soon.